Hi guys, Mike here with the first of hopefully many tutorial videos that I'm going to do for you. I've had a lot of people help me out on the forums, so just going to do my little bit to give back. Hopefully save you some money and help you out with a few bits and bobs. So first of all, we're going to do a mixing tutorial. It's going to be a beginner's tutorial, but we're going to do a few little extra bits and bobs in there to hopefully answer some questions that people have got when it comes to multiple flavours. So today I took delivery of a mixing kit courtesy of Alchemist's Cupboard. I'll put the link down at the bottom. You basically get a couple of different levels of kit. I went for the gold kit, which comes with the following. You get 100ml of nicotine. It's VG based, 72 milligrams per milliliter. You get 100ml of VG and 100ml of PG. Along with that, you also get 2 concentrates included with it, but I decided to buy a few more. So these are the ones that I got. We've got juicy lemon, we've got green apple, blackcurrant, and cranberry. I also opted to get a bottle of sweetener. It just takes off any harsh edges on flavours and stuff. So if you're vaping something and it doesn't feel quite sweet enough for you, you're not feeling the flavours, then we can add a little bit of this into it. You also get 2 30ml empty bottles, nice and soft. 2 20ml bottles, again nice and soft. You get 5 10ml bottles, as you can see here, and 2 5ml bottles. You also get your syringes with blunt needles. You've got a 10ml syringe and a 5ml syringe. I am going to do something which I was recommended to do by somebody else on the forums, which is to pop a little bit of tape over the markings on these needles, just because apparently when they get a bit wet, you tend to lose the markings on them, and the last thing you want to do is have incorrect reading. So just bite a little bit of tape off, stick it over the markings, and fingers crossed we'll be good to go. So I'll just cut this last little bit off in a second, and same with this one here. The fruit flavourings that come with this kit are Capella, but they're rebottled inside the lab of Alchemist's Cupboard. So they come in there, sort of a nondescript bottom, but it does say Capella flavouring on the top. Not sure if this is a reverse for you, but I'll take my word for it. Now, some people do decide to work out themselves the ratios, the percentages, how many drops, how many millilitres, etc. when it comes to doing DIY juice. However, I'm lazy and downloaded an app. It's the Planet of the Vapes Juice Calculator. I'll post a link again down in the bottom for you Android and iPhone users. There's millions of them online, to be honest with you. You can just go on websites and type what you want in, but I found the Planet of the Vapes one seems pretty good. You can save your recipes, you can put multiple flavours in, you can pick whether your nicotine is VG based or PG based, so just pretty much everything you want it to do, really. So saying that, let's get to it. I'm just gonna bring the camera down. So I recommend popping down a cloth, because the last thing you want to do is go and messing up your table. It's just more cleaning for you to do, more messing around. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up the app and I'm going to show you the juice calculator. You might not be able to see it too well on the screen, but no, it doesn't seem to be working. Basically, you pick a juice name, you enter in your percentage of PG and VG, how much you'd like. Then you enter in what the base is, the base milligrams, the strength you require, the quantity of millilitres, how many flavours you want, what percentage you would like it to be as a flavour, so on and so forth. And basically just have a look, play around, find something that works for you. So today, as I said, I'm going to do something a little bit slightly more advanced than real basic sort of stuff. It's not too difficult, but I'm going to do 2 flavours. So we're going to do apple and blackcurrant. Seems to work in cordial, so fingers crossed it will work in liquid. So I'm going to go with a 65-35 PGVG. like it quite thick. The snake oil that I use is that, and it's one of my favourite vapes, so we're going to go with that. So bear with me a second while I just fill in a few figures. So I'm going to go with a 6 milligram strength because I'm going to use it on a dripper, and I'm going to make 10 millilitres. So my first flavour is going to be green apple. It doesn't mention on these whether, oh yes it does, sorry, that they are PG based flavourings as well. So PG based flavouring is apple, and I quite like apple, so we're going to go with, we'll go with 10% apple. And then on the black currant, we're going to go with, 7.5%. So that it smells a little bit stronger, so we're going to go with more apple than blackcurrant. So again, I'm not 100% sure if you can see this, but it breaks it down for you how many milliliters or drops, as some people like to use. But with this, it's saying that the base nicotine needs to be 0.8 ml, the PG needs to be 4.8 ml, VG 2.7, apple 1 ml, blackcurrant 0.8. And it gives me an expected PG-VG ratio of 65:35. So, away we go. First of all, we're going to get the nicotine. Should really be wearing gloves here, but I don't have any, so I'm just going to have to be extra careful not to get it on my skin, because this is the stuff that is toxic. So if you get this on your skin, you need to get it off straight away. If you start to feel unwell, make sure you seek medical attention, etc. Don't pour it down the sink. It's not good stuff. So keep it where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to use a 30ml bottle just because it makes life a little bit easier to give it a shake around and everything when we're done. So the base nicotine needs to be 0.8 ml. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push the stopper right down on this so that we don't have any air in it. And then I'm going to pull it up until this gets to 0.8 ml. So you can see the liquid on there, 0.8 ml. That's spot on. We squeeze that into the bowl, make sure we've got all the last of it in there that we want to do. Give it a little wipe off, and then secure the cap back on this properly. Next of all, we're going to go with the PG, and the PG amount is 4.8. So that's the PG. So we go with the 4.8. So again, still only need to use my 5ml syringe. If I'm making a bigger batch, obviously I'm going to need to use the bigger syringe. But with this being my first ever DIY, I'm probably going to get it wrong. Give it a tap, get all the air bubbles out of there, because we want it to be exactly how much we need. And we're going to squeeze it in there. Give it a shake, make sure it's all in there. And then again, secure the lid nice and tight. We don't want to be wasting any of this. This is expensive stuff. We're paying for all of this, so why waste it? Next of all, I'm going to go with the VG. And the VG is 2.7 milliliters. So this is going to be a bit more of a difficult one to do because these are in 0.2 increments, but we can get it there or thereabouts. So 1, 6. So we're going to go with that. And then push that into there. Okay, so that's 2.7. Now, flavouring. This is where I'm going to make it a little bit more, not so much advanced, but a little bit more interesting. So because we're doing two different flavours, we're going to have 10% of each. We're going to do 1 ml of apple, and we're going to do 0.8 ml of blackcurrant. Now, I have absolutely no idea how this is going to taste, so this is the part where you can get creative. You can add your own stuff into there. There's millions of different flavours out there that are not so much straightforward flavours. You've got things like your aniseed based flavours that they add a small hint of fruit in there and it becomes a crazy vape. You've got your cake based ones, like for example in my Typhoon now we've got Steam Gunk's strawberry cream cake, I think, something along those lines. Tastes great. Wouldn't know how to make it, but it tastes great. So this is where we start messing around, and that's why I'm starting with a small 10ml really at the moment. So we need 1 ml of apple. So we've got our green apple here, and pop the lid off there. Oh, it smells great. So we're going to pop 1 ml in. Just put that in there. And then we need 0.8 ml of the blackcurrant. Again, just make sure we pop all the lids back on. You put the right caps in the right concentrates because they are very strong. We don't want to mix them up because it could take away from the taste, etc. Okay, so we take the top off and we just go straight in. We're going for 0.8 ml. So there we go. Now the thing with the flavouring is it doesn't really matter massively if you get a little bit extra. It's only going to enhance the flavour unless you're very specific about how much flavour you like in your juices. Play around. The main base is the PG, the VG, and the nicotine. So have a little play around. I mean, you can see what you think with them. So there's no right or wrong way of doing it. Now that's pretty much it. What you can do is you can add this stuff, ethyl maltol, which is basically a sweetener. It's just like your candrel and everything that you put into your coffee and your tea, but obviously in a liquid form and without all the extra crap to bind it together. I've heard this is quite strong from Alchemist Chemists. They recommend 1 drop per milliliter maximum. So it's worth just going in with 1 or 2 drops. Again, it's the kind of thing that you can just add in when you're tasting it really. Now the next thing we're going to do is everything's in there now. So you can see in the bottle. I'm just going to move the camera up a bit back to me. Everything's now in this bottle. So that is my liquid. The only problem is it's not all bound together. So that at the moment would probably not vape fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a good shake up. I can actually see in it like everything's separated. So we're going to give it a good shake for as long as you can, or as long as you can be bothered or anything like that. Now there are other ways that people recommend of doing this. It's called steeping. When you steep a liquid, it infuses everything together and it becomes stronger. Like alcohol with Christmas pudding and everything like that, they say to leave the fruit in the alcohol overnight if you can. Makes it a better flavour. Same with this. So I will be able to vape it straight away, but if I want the best flavour out of it, it's best to steep it. Now people have got different ways of doing steeping. Some say that agitation, i.e. this, is good for it. Some say that heat. Some say you can put them in a ultrasonic cleaner. Some people pop them in the microwave. Be aware that if you are going to put them in the microwave, don't do what I did and whack it on for 20 or 30 seconds because my liquid shot out the top and I lost a load of it. That was when I just bought a batch which hadn't been steeped yet, and I decided that I wanted to force the process along. They say do it in 1 to 2 second bursts. Stop it, let it cool, redo it, because heat is not nicotine's friend. So yeah, do it in 1 or 2 second bursts. Now I'm just going to keep shaking this off camera now. So that's pretty much it. If you've got any questions at all, just let me know. I'm going to pop all the links in the bottom for the different products that I bought. Link to the kit, link to the Planet of the Vapes juice calculator, everything along those lines. Now, this is basically just a recipe. This is just like cooking. You follow the recipe of the juice calculator, and you're in. That's the very basics of it. If you want to start getting creative, you can start adding little bits of things like the sweetener in there. You can start adding things that give you a cool kick. You can start putting menthol bases in there. You can even start creating your favourite sort of chocolate bars and all that kind of stuff. There's a million different things out there. Also, be sure to remember what liquid you've made. I've just got some sticky labels. Simple as. Just going to write on there, apple and blackcurrant, 6 milligrams, sorry, created on 6 of the 1st. So you know how long it's been steeping for and how long you've taken to use it, I suppose. Just gives you a good indication of everything. Anyway, I'm going to leave you there, and if you've got any questions, follow me on Twitter @MikeTheVaper, and see what I can do. Thanks.